Yes. Let's get back, children. So the wave in which the particles of the medium vibrate about their mean position in the direction of propagation of the sound is called longitudinal wave. See, now note down the important concept which I have underlined, that is called as longitudinal wave, which is a little new to you. The concept, the word, the term is little new to you. Please understand. I will explain through that experiment. Okay. So once again I'll repeat, the wave in which the particles of the medium vibrate about their mean positions in the direction of propagation of the sound is called longitudinal wave. So what do you mean by the wave motion which is taking place along the direction, the disturbance caused along the direction of propagation of sound? So what is happening? Look at the diagram. So here, when the ambulance is moving towards the person, what it is happening? It is causing the disturbance along the direction of the motion, along the direction of wave motion. Therefore, it is called as longitudinal waves. Okay. The sound travels in air in the form of longitudinal waves. It can be produced in solids, liquids and gases also. Okay. So I hope you have understood the meaning of longitudinal waves. So the concept of longitudinal waves is nothing but the disturbance caused in the medium along the direction of propagation of sound. So that is called as longitudinal wave. Let us go to example 2 now, which is very interesting. Okay. It is, you are seeing a piece of stone in the center, that black dot. Okay. So drop a piece of stone in the still water of a pond. A disturbance is caused in the form of ripples. Let's place a cork on the surface at some distance away from the point where the stone is kept. Okay. Now, as soon as the stone strikes the water, we notice that the cork does not move ahead, but it moves up and down while the waves move ahead. So note this point. This is very, very important for you to understand. So first, what you are doing, you are taking a stone and dropping inside the water. Immediately you are seeing some ripples or disturbance caused in the medium, and you are dropping a cork somewhere near the stone, not exactly on the stone, near the stone. So and you are seeing the cork which is moving up and down. Okay, so what is it? The diagram is very, very clear here. The cork which is moving up and down, I put the arrow marks, and you are seeing a topmost position and the bottom position. The topmost position is called as crest, C-R-E-S-T, crest, and the lowest position is called as trough, T-R-O-U-G-H, trough. Okay, you can see the piece of stone also. So what is the very important observation you can understand? So you are seeing that the particle does not move. It moves only in up and down in its mean position. But what is moving ahead? The disturbance is moving ahead, or the energy is moving ahead. So now you can see the simplified diagram which I have done for you. So the cork is moving up and down and the disturbance is caused. Look at the direction. It is in a perpendicular direction. In the first experiment we saw the direction was along the direction, or maybe parallel. The disturbance was caused in a direction parallel to the medium of propagation, but now it is in a perpendicular direction. So how it can be named? Okay, the wave in which the particles of the medium vibrate about their mean positions in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave is called as transverse wave. So first experiment we came to conclusion, learnt about longitudinal waves. Now we are learning about transverse waves. So they are produced, but the concept of transverse waves, they can be produced in solid and on the surface of the liquids. They cannot be produced inside the liquids and in gases. Now I have an interesting question for you. Why transverse waves cannot be produced through air? So what is the answer you can give? So you should understand that the transverse waves, the transverse waves can only be caused in a direction perpendicular. So when you talk about air particles, the air particles can be either compressed or it can be rarefied. It cannot take part in a it cannot vibrate in a direction perpendicular. Therefore, transverse waves cannot be produced through air. So based on the above explanation, so we can now understand based on the above explanation, we can understand the characteristics of wave motion which can be framed. So what are the characteristics of the wave motion? First one, the wave motion is a periodic disturbance at a point in a medium. So that is the first one. The first characteristic is any disturbance which is caused in the medium is a periodic disturbance. So what do you mean by periodic disturbance? For every compression, there is a rarefaction. For every crest, there is a trough. There is you cannot separate only compressions and rarefaction. If you talk about compression, then automatically for one compression there will be a rarefaction. For one crest there will be a trough. This means that the wave is a periodic disturbance. Now let us come to the second characteristic. Now in the experiment you saw the cork which was moving only up and down. but what was moving, only the energy was transferred. From this we will understand that particles vibrate about their mean position, but energy is transferred with a constant speed from one place of medium to the other. So these are all the concepts. The first part consists of only these points. So what all we discussed in part 1 we will see. First we discussed sound is a form of energy, and we discussed second point is important property of sound, where the sound needs a material medium through the bell jar experiment. Third point is all the requisites of the medium, how the medium should be. 3 points we have mentioned. Now fourth point is how the sound is propagated through experiment 1 and experiment 2, and we came to conclusion that the experiment 1 shows that what is the concept of longitudinal waves, and experiment 2 represents the concept of transverse waves. So from that we learn some definitions, that is compressions, rarefactions, and what is a wave, longitudinal waves and transverse waves. Finally we discussed about characteristics of wave motion. So children, we have come to a conclusion of part 1 today. So end of the part 1 I am giving an assignment, that is read and practice questions 1 to 15 in page 182. Exercise 8A. So please don't confuse. We have already given the Xerox copies of 3 chapters. Take page number 182 and you'll be having some questions 1 to 15. All are basic questions, but I hope I instruct you to read all those questions. So the next class I'll be asking some interesting questions to you, so that you can answer and write down in your notebook. Okay. With this part 1 of sound is completed. So next class we will deal with much more interesting concepts with part 2. Thank you so much, children. Bye.